So a couple of things. One, SonicWall has been a cybersecurity vendor for almost 30 plus years. So we have had a rich install base of close to, I guess, I would say 3 million or 4 million sensors across the globe over this past 30 plus years. We are predominantly known for firewall, even though we have close to 12 different products in the portfolio, um, ranging all the way from an endpoint to a network security product, plus to capabilities in the cloud, which includes our remote access portfolio, email security, and and on the client, and a bunch of other things. So, in addition to that, we are a 100% channel operated company with close to 17,000 partners globally, operating across almost 175 countries. So that is our global footprint, and a phenomenal presence worldwide, pretty much. So part of our responsibility as cybersecurity vendors is not just, you know, sell cybersecurity capabilities or solutions, but it's also to educate our partners, our customers about some of the cybersecurity challenges, trends, and solutions that we see across the globe, given the footprint that we have. So a lot of these content is actually presented and posted in the SonicWall University, and you don't necessarily have to be a SonicWall customer to access some of these content. So it's like I said, the cybersecurity market, and especially for vendors like us, this is a space that is built on trust. And one of the ways we have to earn and build trust is by making sure that we educate our customers and partners worldwide in on like I said, some of the cybersecurity threats, trends, challenges, and all of that. And all of that content, we make it readily available through the SonicWall University program. So, like we were discussing early on, right? The hackers are always, or the bad guys are always a step ahead. So you've got to work with the assumption that, whatever capabilities that you put in place, they will always be a step ahead. So you've always got to, be a step ahead in terms of developing and building out your solutions. But in terms of the vendor landscape that you talked about, 100%, I think the last RSA, which is one of the marquee cybersecurity events in the Bay Area, there were close to, I believe, 3,500 plus vendors who touted cybersecurity capabilities across, your endpoint or your network security or cloud security and whatnot. But that said, one of the trends that we see and we hear from our customers and partners is that there is an OEM or a vendor fatigue that is settling in. There was a time when best of breed ruled. So they would pick, a network security from one vendor, a client from another vendor, a cloud security posture from another vendor, a network infrastructure gear from a fourth vendor, and they would have dedicated IT teams, or the partners would actually build all these solutions together. But to your point, with so many cybersecurity vendors that are out there, it is becoming really a challenge for the partner or the customer to pick. So a lot of these partners and end customers have a preference now to work with vendors that offer best of suite rather than best of breed. So they are looking for one vendor that could provide them an entire solution, all the way from an endpoint to an application and everything in between. But again, that's their preference. But obviously, with every customer or a partner, it's always a mixed environment. So vendors that are moving to a platform capability, who offer all of the capabilities as part of the technology stack, and pull all of that together in a single pane of stained glass with contextual information shared across each of these different enforcement points, will probably rule the roost moving forward. But also have provisions to integrate with third party, because like you said, cybersecurity market cannot be won by one vendor. it is going to be um, it is going to be an industry where yes, you'll have a vendor that will build out a platform, but with an ability to integrate with third-party vendors that are out there. So there always is an opportunity, but if you think about it, the hackers have to get it right just once, you know, um, you know, and and folks like us who are providing cybersecurity solutions have to get it right all the time. So there is a big difference. You know, the hacker might have 100 failed attempts, but he has to get it right once um, to infiltrate or to make something bad happen. So to answer your second question, you continuous innovation is the mantra of cybersecurity. So
You are right.
I'm pretty sure enterprises or vendors like us will we will continue to innovate. We will continue to build on capabilities that we have. Like I said, we always have to continue to be a step ahead of the hackers. But the vendors that will survive in the future are the vendors that will consolidate and build out a platform rather than providing point solutions. That's the point that I was trying to make with the best of breed versus best of suite analogy. It's best of suite, the vendors that provide best of suite capabilities are the vendors that, in my opinion, will survive for the long run. Oh, this is a very dynamic environment, right? Again, we just met with one of the biggest telecom providers a few hours ago. I think he articulated this very well. I mean, this is a volume market, and you know, consumer rules the roost here. Mobility, innovations like 4G, 5G, and what LTE has done into a country like this, where a wired infrastructure is still a challenge in a lot of places, but wireless or cellular capability has tripled. I think the pace at which innovation is getting sparked in regions like India and a few other regions of the world is just phenomenal. But that also provides an opportunity for the bad actors. It provides them a bigger landscape and a bigger space for them to go after some of these prime infrastructures. So there is an opportunity, there is a threat as well in regions like India with such a fast-paced growing economy as well. So we continue to evaluate 100%. I think if we have to, again, we are trying to understand the nuances that are involved in what Make in India actually entails. So we are kind of working through obviously the concerned authorities, the concerned bodies in terms of understanding. There are, from what we have understood up until now, there is various criteria for certifying and being qualified for Make in India. We're also working with our third-party vendors, our ODM vendors, to see what provisions, what capabilities that they have to make sure that we adhere to some of the regulations that have been put forth by the government of India from a Make in India perspective. But like I said, India is a great opportunity for us. It's one of the biggest growing markets. We definitely want to be one of the primary players in this space. So we will continue to evaluate whatever we need to do to kind of be relevant in this market. So post-COVID, I think just like for any other vendor out there, post-COVID we've definitely seen a spike in our sales just because of all the transitions that was brought about by COVID. People working remotely, and that remotely could be your house, could be a coffee shop, could be an airport, could be a remote branch office. So it's actually and so that is one. The adoption of cloud-based technologies. Again, we saw this trend even before COVID, but COVID has just expedited that trend where more and more people have started adopting cloud-based technologies a lot more aggressively. And third, I think the explosion of IoT devices and the convergence of IT and OT. So we see a lot of IoT devices actually coming and connecting into the network. So definitely post-COVID, there has been a lot of impetus into all these trends that we just talked about. So I think we've seen almost all vendors, especially in the cybersecurity space, given that the threat landscape has expanded because of all the trends that I just talked about. We've all seen a boost in adoption of cybersecurity capabilities for all the right reasons from our end customers and partners. So for the partner, just like vendors like us, we have a responsibility. We have a moral responsibility. We have a moral obligation to earn the trust and to make sure that we protect our end customers. That's pretty much the name of the game. Yes, we're all in a business. We're all in we need to succeed. But our moral responsibility is to make sure that our customers, our end customers, are well protected and safe. And you try and keep the bad actors away. From an end customer perspective, making sure that you have continued awareness of the resources that you're accessing, where you're accessing, how you're accessing. This notion of zero trust becomes very true. So those are probably the two things that I would.
Thank you.